All right. Well, welcome everyone to another episode of
Let's mute this thing.
This Whole Everything number 2.
Number 1.
No, number 2. Oh, I want to hit the 12th anniversary mark, and then we can make that double sized, and then we can start all over again.
Why don't we make this one number 100? And then we busted 10 years, right?
Well, we could do like it's actually 202 because it's a season, maybe something like that.
Whatever you want, man.
Whatever.
I don't care. What's up, Fantinuum?
I say number 2 so that I can go back and remember what maybe I was looking for if I'm lucky. I'm gonna look at comments. Jill B. Pills here, Fantinuum's here. Hey guys, how is it going? Jill's actually just in the other room also.
Is the door locked?
The door is.
Then you're not doing it right.
Well, you know, if it's over YouTube, we got to be pretty cool anyway.
Great light. You like this? Well, it's over here. Hold on. This explosively bright light right here.
It's pretty wild. Yeah, I got one up there. Oh, I did my camera so you can't see it as well.
My eyes are not bothering me tonight.
Oh, good. But what is that? Is that part of your being colorblind when you have to have it all dark like that? Is that your eyes bothering you? Is that all part of the same thing?
No.
Have I given too much away about your not being able to see green lights, red lights?
I don't drive. Who cares?
I didn't mean to let people know about your foibles.
Yeah, I can't control it, so I don't care, and it doesn't bother me one little bit.
So what's the deal with your eyes and the darkness and all that stuff?
When they get really dry, they're sensitive to light.
I see.
And I'm not bothered today.
I got you.
I am very colorblind. Yeah.
Cool, because man, that Charles Burns picture is just beautiful right now,
isn't it? Though.
Yeah, it's really nice looking.
That's the best thing Tyler ever stole from me.
Where did he steal it from?
I'm not saying, but you worked there.
Well, I've worked at a couple places he's worked.
Have you?
Yeah.
Where?
I helped get him the job over at Half Priced.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That did not come from there.
Okay.
So you know exactly where it came from now.
Yeah.
Before the move.
Oh, yeah. Well, exactly. He wouldn't even get. Yeah, exactly. All right. What is this? Christopher Nolan is one of the greatest directors of our generation, and he's colorblind.
Whose generation would that be?
Like our? Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I feel old.
Yeah, I didn't hook him up with a job. I was just there, and I vouched for him.
And they were like, "Okay, well, if he sucks, you're fired." And you were like, "Well, I guess I'm fired."
Yeah, that's not the reason why I was fired.
No, it's not.
We all know that.
And that's not how Tyler sucks.
Yeah. So anybody that is watching this show live, maybe if you could do me a favor, hit the like button.
Oh, hold on.
If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, especially those of you that are listening after the fact. I actually was talking to someone today that let me know that he listens to the show after the fact. So, hey, Dave, how's it going?
Yeah. Dave's
not here, man.
Dave's not here. That's so good.
Oh, that'll be my next thing I'll put in the overlay. Dave's not here, man. It's a little Cheech and Chong. All right, so ATN.
Yeah.
Jaffro Jones is loving your Gardens of the Moon read-along for
coming from your brother. Thank you so much. That is a huge compliment. I really appreciate that.
He and another person that I turned on to the podcast were saying that when we talk about Cotillion, and this will be really quick, people, Cotillion and his partner, that we kind of gave it away a little too early.
I think that's true too. I thought about that yesterday.
We worried about that, but we thought going forward that would be some information that would be actually beneficial for the person reading along. Because the thing about Gardens of the Moon, although it is so great, it is also so very complex and there's so many moving pieces that you don't know how they necessarily interact with each other. And he also purposely leaves you out of what is going on from how the conversation is progressing. And then you're left to pick it up. And so what we did was kind of give it away a little bit, but not so much that it ruins anything.
We knew we were spoiling it. We knew. Yeah. And I thought about it yesterday, and it comes up pretty quick anyhow, but I don't regret it yet. And maybe I never will, but we'll see. I know what you mean, though. We were cognizant of that before the fact.
But yeah, I got another person on it. So anybody that likes fantasy novels, you should, and want to like have some conversation with some people that are talking about it. You know, the same book that you're reading.
Yeah, wait for 1 year and then check out
Sci-Fi Fantasy Read Along. You can start with the first book in the, what is that called? Oh, The Black Company by Greg Cook.
Greg, what? God, get out of here! What's wrong with you?
Glenn Cook.
Greg Cook.
Well, sorry, wrong G. Glenn Cook.
I'm surprised.
It was just a mistake. It's just a mistake. You know, it happens. I'll edit it out.
Hey, Corey.
And then Corey's here. Hey there. Okay. And then also you and Jilby Pill talked about, what was that book?
We did Sabriel, but we're doing we're finishing Leviathan's Wake by James S.E. Corey.
Which is the book that The Expanse is based on, right?
Yeah, the Hugo Award-winning sensation that is actually not very good.
The program or the book?
The book. I haven't seen the program. I'm going to finish the book and then I'll watch the show.
Well, that's a shame. I'm sorry you're not enjoying it as much.
No, I mean, I enjoyed it. It's just okay.
Discussing it's difficult. Because
there's not a lot of meat on those bones, man.
Yeah. We're lucky with the Greg with the Glenn Cook and the
Greg Cook is an extraordinary fantasy author. If you haven't been reading Greg Cook, you need to get out there right now and get yourself a Brown Company novel immediately.
You're an asshole.
Years of practice. Years of practice.
Years of practice. I thought I had that perfected, but man, I'm really learning something from you right now.
Jaffro, I think fantasy is also meant to be seen simply I mean, you know, obviously there's, you know, the outfits and stuff like that aren't that important, but like magic, man, can you imagine seeing Gardens of the Moon's magic on TV or on a big screen? That would be incredible. Incredible.
Yeah, well, yeah, there you go.
We're living in great times. It's too bad movies are going the way of the dodo.
Well, movies are, as far as in theater experience. I mean, more people are willing to wait, or more companies are willing to, you know, give it to you on Netflix.
They're also willing to give you garbage because they know you'll pay, and they don't need to make a lot of money. They just need to make a little bit of money.
They just need your attention all the time also.
Yeah, and they're willing to put out garbage constantly. And that's a shame. That's just a shame. It's too bad. You know, if this was China, we could just kill them for making bad TV. You have wasted too much time. 5 million Americans watched your garbage television program, and they all want their time back. We can't give it back to them, so we're going to execute you, Mr. Director and Producer.
So the Game of Thrones guys would not have gotten a contract to work on Star Wars, is what you're telling me.
I don't know, whatever.
I mean, I know you didn't see it, but whew. You know, there's a lot of talk about Oscars this week.
Okay.
There were some nominations. I don't know if you heard about it.
I did not.
Yeah.
Tell me. Come on. I want to know. Let's go.
I don't know. It was basically.
Oh, so you didn't hear about it either?
No, I heard about it, and I heard a lot about what people were saying after the fact. It seems there's a bit of outrage. I don't know if you could imagine.
In this day and age?
What?
Why?
Outrage?
Is that possible?
Yeah, it seems like all the directors and movies were directed by
dudes,
white males, I guess.
Yeah.
Woo! Number one.
Ricky Gervais said that next year they're just not gonna they're not gonna hire any female directors, and that'll solve that problem.
It will. I mean, people are coming out and talking about like that Fred Rogers movie, Mr. Rogers.
Okay,
And
with
I'm like,
Tom Hanks.
biopics always start at shit. I mean, anybody complaining about a biopic not being a #1 movie, a nominated movie, that all of the biopics that have ever been nominated should never have been nominated. So anybody that's like fighting for that, you're wrong. And then they were talking about Greta something that directed Little Women. And I'm like, Little Women? Wasn't that like done to death forever ago? And I mean, then they did the Little Women with Winona Ryder and all that other. I mean, do we need a new generation of Little Women?
It's a classic, so yeah, maybe
it's classic.
Maybe
it's a classic set in a time where you never need to redo it. Ever.
They keep up. I mean, they make Shakespeare movies over again. Why not? Like,
yeah. Well, the thing about it, Shakespeare. Well, I'm not too into that either. I mean, seriously.
Did you see Titus?
I mean, Kenneth Branagh. When you make Hamlet,
forget him.
When you make Hamlet longer than Hamlet runs in the stage.
And how old is Kenneth? How old is Kenneth Branagh? How old was he?
He sucks, man.
He was no 17-year-old spry guy, that's for sure. He's like 80 years old and like, I am Hamlet. Oh,
look at Jilby Pill's correct. Little Women, so boring.
Well, that's fine. Did you see Titus? Did you see Titus with Anthony Hopkins?
No.
Oh, that movie's really good. That movie's really good. It's beautiful too. Like to look at. It's beautiful. No, it's not new. It's old as hell.
Oh.
It's a remake of a Shakespeare film.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Or play, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
This is good, man.
Anyway, I mean, just bitching about the Oscars. I mean, what a first world problem.
Well, it's the same thing as complaining about whether a director's white or not. It's like you have a lot of luxury time if you're complaining about who's making the movies.
Okay, so I'm going to share. Oh, wait. Let me get this brand down for you. The banner.
Caligula.
Topic of the day.
I'm paying attention now. Hold on.
Stephen King. For just how long has he been out of touch?
Is he out of touch? Go on.
I got to share screen with this one.
Go on.
So he tweeted something today.
Oh no, he has Twitter?
Oh yeah, he does. He never considered diversity in matters of art, only quality.
Okay.
It seems to me to do otherwise would be wrong.
I think that's fine. How much crap did he get?
Oh,
how many people blocked Stephen King today?
With all due respect, I'm afraid that a meritocracy could work only if the game weren't rigged. Sir, respectfully saying you as a white man can't really say that.
Unrelated. Unrelated. Not relevant.
When you or your loved ones need life-saving surgery.
Not relevant. Not relevant. Not relevant.
Every writer of color reading this, including me, has to work 10 times harder to get the same recognition opportunities straight white male authors get from the start.
I don't believe that either.
What a myopic, privileged thing to type. And on and on and on.
No. He's right. He's right. We talk about this all the time.
Stephen King, for just how long has he been out of touch?
He isn't. He's completely in touch. Although the out of touch part was him making that tweet and not thinking he was going to get backlash. But I'm guessing he knew there was going to be some backlash. He's on Twitter. I mean, he knows.
It's an allegory how white privileged men are allowed to consume resources.
Writing a novel. He's writing books, man.
His love of the East Coast. Oh.
He's a Mainer. He
is a Mainer. He really hates California.
That's fine.
And you know what? I hate him too. How do you like that?
No, that's not fair, man. Come on. Stephen King wrote The Gunslinger, and that book is amazing.
I kind of dogged on him today. I said, I don't remember what I really said, but it was kind of just joking about how he writes good characters. I just
Sometimes.
don't think he really writes, we've talked about him before. So, like,
Yeah.
it's kind of fun that I am actually able to talk about him in context with, the silliness that's going on.
Mhm.
But I personally haven't really liked him ever. And yeah, here's what I said. I said, not a fan. Some movies from his books are good if he wasn't involved.
Mm.
He can write a good character. That is all.
Shining.
Yeah.
Good.
But
Carrie, good.
we're talking, I
Christine,
mean,
good.
yeah, the movies that
Cujo,
he
good.
can, yeah,
Firestarter, good.
exactly.
Gunslinger, extraordinary.
The movie,
No, the
the book
book.
better than the movie.
Book's so good. So good.
I haven't actually read it, but I'm sure it's
That
fun.
first book is worth reading all by itself. Jeremiah swears that book 3 or 4 is also really, really good, but the second book was hard to get through, and I didn't like it, and I never picked up book 3 because of it.
Mm-hmm.
But that first one, yep, very good, very good,
Very good, very good. So, how was your week?
great. You know what I did today?
What'd you
I renewed my medical cannabis card.
do? Bravo.
$43 and a little bit of wasted time.
Yeah.
But next year I can do it online.
Nice.
So I'll just have to pay a fee and there won't be any wasted time.
All right. Very good.
It was awesome. I was so happy.
Is that what you need to do over there? You do need to have a card. Okay.
Yeah.
No freebs anymore.
What do you mean anymore?
Oh, I don't mean freebie for real. I mean, you just don't get it. You don't have to have a medical card these days here.
No, not there. You don't.
Some places still give discounts if you're medical, but
that's fine. I mean, if you can buy it over the counter, who cares, right?
Mm-hmm.
Small price to pay to be able to go to the store and buy marijuana products.
That's right. It is a small price to pay. Although in Berkeley, it's a large price to pay.
How much is it really? Like when people used to have to buy the stuff illicitly, there was always the black market markup.
Yeah, and I guess
now it's just a tax markup, right?
I never paid $68 for an eighth.
That's a bit. Well, I did though. I have back when.
I mean, sure, when we were stupid in Southern. Well, I mean, depending on the state.
Really good strains have always been pretty pricey.
Mm-hmm.
Even when, like 1995, when I was in Massachusetts, it was not cheap.
Welcome to the weed buying episode of this whole everything, obviously.
We have experience. We might as well share it with the public.
All right. So in the 90s in Southern California, to get, oh man, Humboldt, woo, that might be like some $70 or something. But I mean, it just had a connotation that came with it.
Yeah.
I mean, just good weed was still probably about like $60. But the problem is getting good weed. Getting
it didn't matter if you were willing to pay
that you had to wait to get in a very sketchy part of town.
Yeah.
For maybe an hour while your buddies are going to get it with another person and you're hanging out with a buddy and another. This is just weed. And then you're breaking all the seeds and the stems apart from it. And it's like, seeds. What? Yeah, exactly. It's not good stuff.
At least you could grow your own. I mean, you ever do that? Do you ever grow anything from seed and be like, oh, I'm going to grow these plants and it's going to be glorious?
I wanted to, but you're like saving them,
Yeah.
But what are you saving them for? I never did it.
Put them in your porridge, man. Eat them. They used to be a huge part of bird seed was those seeds.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Big time.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Used to grow all over the place wild. Where is it now? No idea.
That'd be great. You're just walking down the street, getting an orange, getting an apple, getting a bud. Oh, so special.
Everything you need.
Everything you need.
In one ditch.
It's just those little worms that get in them that they're sons of bitches.
Yeah,
If you
whatever.
follow Filthy Burger's Instagram account, you can see on when I killed some of those worms I found. They're devastating. They'll rip the buds apart and get plump on them.
They eat them. I do.
Oh, it's so sad. And then your weed just breaks apart, and it's like, oh, this can be Oh no, it can't. It can't be salvaged.
So, do you remember the problem that I had? I grew 2 plants when I was living in California.
Yeah, you had termites or something under one.
Not under.
Yeah.
They
ate it.
Yeah, that plant had always been sick, and I was like, why is this plant not growing well? And it had a dead branch on it, and I had to harvest because I was moving. And when I did, it had termites living in it, and it was hollow, and it was kind of insane. I never expected that in my life. That was a shock. That was really a shock. Yeah.
Yeah, it's filthy with them.
Posted it to Instagram.
Yeah.
I did.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that. The sons of bitches. That's what they were.
Little bastards.
Little bastards. Let me take this off. Okay, there we go. Hey, everybody. Hey. You can follow me personally at Big Blue Yule.
There it is. I see it.
Twitter.
It's on the screen right there.
Yeah, it's right there. Big Blue Yule. On Twitter. That's where I say salty things to comic professionals from time to time.
And novices too.
Yeah, actually, I don't really say anything. I try to be like a little zinger. Or maybe a factoid. I actually asked Michel Fife. I tweeted to him, and you have a question you want to ask, you want to start a conversation maybe, and you're kind of nervous. I mean, I'm an old man now.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be nervous about stupid stuff like this, but you're like, oh, maybe I'll tweet the wrong thing, or they won't like, blah blah blah. So you don't know how people are going to react. Basically, I was like at Michel Fife so that he, see it. I tag him in there.
Should, yeah.
I'm like, you put out Copra by yourself for years, no problems. But once you get to Image, come the 4th issue, problems. We didn't get our issue. He had already announced that there was going to be problems with it. There actually ended up being problems with it. I'm hoping to get them in next week. But anyhow, I was just like, what's the deal with that? And he was like apologetic. I'm like, it's not even your freaking fault, I was just like kind of like, I don't know. It
reflects on him though.
Well, I like the fact that he thought that. I mean, I don't believe it does. He got it out. He finished it. No, it's just signing with the company, and whatever snafu Image had with Diamond or Diamond had with Image, it happened. And even when he let me know, I totally thought I got that. It got it nailed. It still didn't. And I was a little irked because here I am, ordering number 5 and I still don't have number 4 in. Anyway, it's just a thing. That was pretty cool that you responded, though.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
All right. So you ready? You ready?
Yeah, I think so. All
right. So I am going to introduce this part of the show. And we're going to call it We Ain't Alone.
Oh, man.
As anybody that's been listening for the last few weeks knows, Fantastic Comics is going to be moving locations. I'm being very coy with people. Well, all right. I've gotten the letter that I'm going to give all the people that are poll customers so that they know what's going on going forward. Those are already printed up.
You got to slip it into their comics?
They're going to be in the slots. I've talked to most of the people that are regulars weekly anyway, so they know what's going on.
Does Fantinuum know?
Fantinuum knows, yeah.
He doesn't need the paper.
No.
You're moving?
Yeah, well, he's listening to the program. It helps. Listen to the program. It helps. If you want to know about Fantastic Comics, this is the only comic book show that talks about their store also, as far as I know.
Yeah.
At least on YouTube, maybe. Oh, man, running a store sucks, let me tell you.
being responsible for lots of stuff, anything really, is kind of
Well,
a burden.
there's the responsibility of running the store and the money and the
Mhm.
people that are invested in it. But there's also the customers. And I personally like comic books, and seeing the industry take a bit of a nosedive as it's been doing the last few years is kind of frustrating. It's hard to be a part of it and want to cheer it on, rah, rah. But it's like it's kind of letting you down all the time too. This X-Men thing has been very good for us, but then they have all these titles, and then they're announcing more titles, and there's going to be more titles, and it's like you're really killing that goose. Your Marvel has a way of killing the goose better than anybody. And even DC, they still haven't gotten to the point where they're canceling, or I should say cutting down the number of times that some of the books are being released. Not all of the books are bi-monthly anymore, or not bi-monthly, bi-weekly anymore, but some of them still are. Batman, I can't. Wonder Woman, I think, still is. Superman's monthly, but anyway, it doesn't matter. There's some books that are still coming out every other week. And it's hard. It's hard. I was just looking at Flash, and I kind of lamented. It's only been a few months since I've read the last a issue of Flash, and I'm already 3 or 4 issues behind. And it's just like, it's daunting. I really like this story that's going on. Joshua Williamson is a pretty darn good writer, and he's doing a good job on it. Good art. I like the character. I want to read more about the character, but it's just coming out so often. It's just impossible to keep up. It's like a Flash.
I get it. I got it. I got that one.
So I say we are moving locations. This is just the way it's going to be. And I am going to email customers that are in our database so that they can know what's coming on. I'm kind of trying, like I said, I'm kind of being coy with anybody else about us moving. I kind of want to take.
Why?
I don't know.
Why not just tell them, hey, we're going to be closing soon. I'm going to move.
Yep. I'd rather have a Guitar Center closing sale than we're going to have a sale until we move over to this other place. I like the people that want to pay attention. Look, you can get this information for free. It's right here.
I got you.
You can buy something, and I'll tell you for free. I mean, I will tell you when you buy something.
Yeah,
or you could be a part. You could be a part of the Patreon page. I've already let people know what's going on there. So I've announced with the Patreon people what's going on. I've announced with the people on the YouTube channel this whole everything that we're going to be moving. I've announced to the people that are poll customers that when they come in, they're going to know tomorrow what's going on with the store. And everybody else has, they can watch on YouTube. They can be on Patreon. They can come in and buy something. I'll let everybody know what's going on. But as far as just like freely giving that information any more than hit that like button, everybody, I just would rather not say anything. I don't know. It's just kind of like a weird vulture kind of thing. I'm not going to be part of it. Anyway, so why are we not alone? Well, let me tell you. I'm going to share screen. And I'm going to bring up Flying Colors Facebook page. Yay, Facebook. Flying Colors is in Concord, California. It's the Bay Area. Some people say, that's hardly the Bay Area. What do you say, ATN?
As I unmute my mic, it's hot out there. Therefore, it's not the Bay Area.
Oh, very good. I like that. Well, anyway, Joe Field is the owner of Flying Colors. He is the founder of, wrong one. He is the founder of Free Comic Book Day. Everybody that celebrated Free Comic Book Day, it's one of our best days of the year. And it's always the first Saturday in May. Free comics are given to, I should say, we purchase comic books for freight prices that Marvel, DC, Image, and so many other companies make available to us. whether they be reprints of old stories or things to come or just little samples of what the company offers. We give those comic books away. And like I said, it's always a really good day for us financially in the store. He also is one of the founders of Comics Pro. He kind of got that started. Comics Pro is a it's things so that stores can belong to, you know. When we first joined Comics Pro and we needed shelves, we would get a discount, or we get,
Strength
you know,
in numbers too.
yeah, strength in numbers. It's almost like a little union for comic store owners. Anyway, what did Joe Fields have to say? He thanked his customers here, as you can see, but he wants to ask people a favor. He wants you, the customer, to bring more of your comic-loving friends into our shop. And then he goes into some of the things that are going on. Some stuff about, you know, comics are great. You know, there's all sorts of really great stuff. But he says, drive through shopping centers and you won't find many local businesses that actually sell stuff these days. It's something I've commented on many a time before. In our section of Berkeley, there are a bunch of food shops. There was 85 Degrees, and there's Kamal next door, and Kamal proper. There's some other place in between all that. And then and this is all on our block. And the only other thing there is a bank, the Max store, Half Price Books, and our store. And then everything else is still just either a food store or a cell phone store. Here he says, there are a ton of fast food and other eating places. There are massage parlors, nail, wax, and tattoo places, and service centers for phones and other digital devices. But there aren't a lot of mom and pop stores. And that's exactly right. The closest thing to a mom and pop store other than us is Half Price Books. How many Half Price Books are in the country?
More than 100.
Holy cow. More than 100. And then there's Pegasus, you know, 4 or 5 blocks down the street. And everything else in between is Ike's Sandwich Store or the French cafe style place. I can't remember what it's called. It doesn't matter. It doesn't suck. I mean, it sucks. It doesn't matter. You know, there's a Target. There's a little mini Target. There's like a Walgreens, but, you know, that's it. Anyway, Joe continues and says national statistics for the 2019 holiday shopping season show overall retail sales were up 3.4%. Online sales were up 18.8%.
Mm-hmm.
That means shopping in physical stores was flat to down. And, you know, the thing is that we calculated that we could have actually probably got the ball rolling a little bit faster to get into the new store, but we wanted to take advantage of the fact that there was going to be Christmas shopping. And, you know, there's going to be a lot of our regulars coming in, or, you know, lapsed regulars, and they're going to come in shopping. And this would be a really good, you know, chance to take advantage of that. And it worked. We did really well for our Christmas. But ever since the last week or so has been kind of sucky. We really hate to admit it, but December sales at Flying Colors were off substantially. And that's where I get to the point that, you know, we're not in this alone. We're not the only ones. He says with the rising cost of rent, we have another lease increase hitting us this month. You know, every year that's what happens, and higher prices on pretty much everything else in the Bay Area. We're facing some difficult decisions ahead. He's all, we're not going anywhere anytime soon. And let me tell you, that's exactly when Jeffrey and I had the opportunity to move into the place that we're moving into. This was a few years ago. And this was purchased so that we could have a fallback plan if we needed it. But we were constantly struggling to not ever need to have that happen. And that's what we've been doing these last few years. What were you doing? You should have moved in, Yule. You're an idiot. I know, but this place is small. He says, we don't want to be faced with finding a lower cost location or any other drastic actions. Well, that's exactly where we're at. We're in our drastic action phase because I borrowed money to the point where I'm like, and we've been here, kind of like overstaying our welcome. And as traffic is getting kind of worse in the area and all the construction is still going on, even though our part of the street isn't really affected as much as it had been, there's like all the other streets that are still going crazy, and it's just killing our traffic. And that's basically it. He goes in and he wants to give you guys some reasons to come in and all this other stuff, and why comic retail therapy is like all the stuff you want in life. But there you go.
Yep.
Alone. All right. Let me see. Yule, is that a comic shelf pressing against my hip? I'm always happy you're a customer here. Duh. Oh, thank you, Sequential Geek. I'm assuming you're talking about what we were just talking about. And let me see. Well, I'll tell you what. As far as my privilege, I'm going to be privileged to bring the comic book store to a local community, and not just some downtown behemoth in the shadow of all these bank buildings and everything. We're going to actually be able to, like, I've told customers and they're like, oh, damn, I'd live right over there. Am I going to see you more? I wonder. And that's pretty cool. And as far as the parking's free, if you can find it.
If you can find it. It's not that hard to park in that part of the
It's not,
town.
but I mean, there's going to be times when it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, you got to park a block away or whatever.
It'll be free. It's an hour long. The store is going to be small. The people that are going to come to it are going to want to be there, and they're going to want to purchase something. I don't think they're just going to fall into the store like the other one is, the Shattuck store. The people come in, they just kind of hang out. They're waiting for their food. They've got a movie or a show that they're going to see. They're not really interested in picking up something like paper and taking it with them.
Yeah,
people
sure.
that come in and get comics want to go home and read them, or go to the, I'm at work, I'm stopping. That's the thing that's going to be a little bit of a bummer. There's a lot of people that work in that area, and I am moving us over in another direction. But for the most part, I don't think it's
I got a great idea. Boom, mind blower, right? You ready?
Yeah.
You ready?
Uber.
No.
I'll pick them up.
Deliver, just like have little bags, right? And like drive your van into downtown Berkeley and like deliver.
Yeah, I don't drive
books.
a van. What kind of creep do you think I am?
A creep. That's what I think you are. I think you're a creep, sir. No, those make it a thing.
Diablo Ashcraft. That's funny.
Make it a thing, man. Where you're like, hey, you want to pick up your comics at our old location?
At our old, well, we'll be setting up a table there.
Do it, dude.
We're gonna be right next. Let me tell you,
panhandle your way to fortune.
There are days when it's so slow. I think that the couple with the kids that have candy for donations of $1 are making more money than us.
Ooh.
No, it's not that bad.
Candy, huh?
Yeah, strangers? They have candy. So they go to whatever Costco or whatever.
Yeah, I know exactly
bunch of
how
candy.
They
got a nice little table. The kids are in their strollers. The guy's on on his chair, and they set up shop a little right in between Half Price Books and Fantastic Comics. And I'm like, man, these people don't even have to pay rent.
No.
So what I need to do is on a Wednesday, I'll leave Jeff at this. No, I'll have Jeff do this actually. We're going to just take the hot comics, right? Just the hot ones. We're going to get a little table.
Yeah.
And we're going to go there and we're going to comics for donations, and
take your
garbage.
There you
go. We don't have to worry. We'll have the holds for the people that live, work in the area.
Yeah.
They can come and pick it up there.
Yeah. Rain or shine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I could do is maybe like on a Thursday or a Friday.
Yeah. Why not?
I could have the list of people.
Yeah.
Or whatever day it doesn't matter when. I was actually telling Jeff, maybe this will be his thing. This would be your one day a week right here. And he's gonna go putter around in his car.
Do it on a scooter.
Do it on a scooter, yeah.
With the little box on the back.
Speaking of scooters, I was listening to NPR, and they were having a conversation about those e-scooters that are always on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And man, people that ride them are militant about. They sound like they're part of the NRA.
Go on.
They love those scooters, and they have people are shooting each other. Second Amendment rights. They're like, oh, we hit a pedestrian on the sidewalk. Ew, get out of my way. It's like, what? And they're very defensive. And I'm like, there's so many things about them that are bad. Battery life, being ditched, people having to pick them up, being an eyesore on the sidewalk, people driving at crazy speeds, not paying attention to what's going on, no rules, no regulations, not needing a helmet, and on and on and on and on and on and on. I mean, you can, but they get me somewhere, and that's like, well, that's it. It's the Trumps. That trumps whatever, I had 50 things about why no. You got the one thing. And you're like, oh, it's environmentally sound. Yeah, get your ass on a bus, you freak.
Yeah, I don't want to walk, man. I want a private conveyance from point A to point B that costs me way more than it would to just buy one.
Trump might be going around trying to get rid of everything Obama did.
I'd love to see
But those e-scooters are getting rid of everything Michelle did. All by themselves.
Yeah. They're all over the place in Austin. And sometimes they're like across the sidewalk and in the way. Sometimes they're like nicely lined up, and they've made a couple of places where there are these like the sidewalk kind of dodges in, and there's a triangle cut out, and that's where 3 scooters go, and it's perfect. And that's where the guys that charge them will drop them off. But then, after they've been drained of battery life.
I like it. People don't know where you'll find gas mobiles are picking up the e-scooters that are supposed to be environmentally sound.
Yeah. Well, what? Come on, man. You can't. How are you supposed to charge them? Really?
Hey, those segways. Yeah, it's the thing is you can never not look like a douche on a Segway. Watch Arrested Development, and Job Bluth is the biggest douche in the world.
It is extremely funny show.
Yeah, I mean, but those were pretty cool.
He's a DV, yeah. He's a DV. Yep, he is.
All right, guys, let's talk some comic books now. This is going to be what? You don't want to talk comic books? I just want to talk about a few reviews really quick.
I don't care, man. Go on.
Whatever. All right, here we go. I'm going to start off with the alternate cover for Daphne Byrne. I did that little joking around about David Byrne.
Yeah, that's the Nosferatu cover.
Yeah, look at that, though. All the dead. So what happens in here is Daphne Byrne is a little creepy girl at school. Nobody likes her. You can see her cutting the paper doll's head off. Kelly Jones is doing the artwork. I kind of mentioned that he's very similar to like Bernie Wrightson. Like he's in that same school. Not a, it doesn't matter. R.I.P. Bernie Wrightson.
Oh.
And so here you go, heir apparent, if you will. Anyway, I really like Kelly Jones. Some of my favorite books that he did were the Calliope story and the Dream of a Thousand Cats from Sandman. That's in volume 3 of Dream Country. So anyway, this little girl is creepy. She goes with her mother to a seance because her mother had come back from one and is like, hey, I talked to your dad, who's obviously dead. And she's like, I want to, get all the people together, bring my daughter, and we're going to talk to your father. On the way to the medium, Daphne Burns given a coin to give to this homeless person, and she gets this like super prophetic, like he's like telling her all sorts of stuff about her. It's creepy. They go to the seance, and Daphne is like asking questions of the medium, and the medium's like, oh yeah, whatever you say, blah blah blah. And at the end, she's like, hey mom, this person's a fraud, and there's stuff that happens. Anyway, it was really good. I liked it. The characters are well developed. The mother is hoping, she's lost her husband, and she's just, she wants to, communicate. And the little girl, like I said, is creepy. The friends, if you could call them that, or classmates don't like her. And yeah, it's pretty good. I liked it. Good first issue. It's only a mini series, so good art, good story. I'm going to read number 2.
How long is it as miniseries? How long?
I think it's like 6 issues.
All right.
Yeah, it's pretty typical. All right, next up, Butcher of Paris number 2, another miniseries. This is based on a true story, and at the end of the first issue, I think the Nazis and the Paris, I think the Nazis found out that there was a murderer. And basically this murderer is taking Jews that want to escape the country, and he's murdering them. So it was a lot of being introduced to the characters. Basically, the Paris police is a father and son team, and then you got your Nazis. And there's some pretty gruesome scenes in here of body parts being cataloged. That's the Nazi smoking, putting his cigarette out on a skull. Jerk. And here's the father and son detective team. And they're trying to figure out what's going on. It was a good issue. I like it. Even though there's body parts and stuff like that, the artwork is pretty tame. And although it's telling a good story, it's not so graphic that I think you're going to get disgusted unless you just can't handle anything. Last but not least, I have been reading the last 2 issues, 2 consecutive issues of Superman. Back in the 90s, they had these little shields here so that you could read them in order from one title to the next. Here we have Adventures of Superman. And then here we have just Superman, and that's number 9, whereas the other one's number 8. And this is during a red phase and blue phase Superman. These are books I never actually read. I was going to put them in the dollar bin, but I thought I'd read them first because I've never read these issues. And it's kind of funny. Superman, blue and red finally they've been around for a little while, but they finally meet up in this issue. And the first thing they do is fight because that's what heroes do. They both think that the cyborg's involved with the other one being created. Here they are, Clark Kent facing off with Clark Kent. I like how even Superman Blue has a blue tie. Superman Red has a red tie. It's kind of funny. I read the first issue. It was pretty good. I wanted to tell you about the second issue. It was kind of funny. They materialize in Lois Lane and Clark Kent's apartment, and she's like, you guys better tell me what's going on. And as they do, she gets, I want you to see this. This is great. It's a great scene. She gets pillows and tells them they're going to have to stick it out on the couch, but she ain't going to deal with them.
You missed opportunity there.
Missed opportunity. I'm all, man, maybe DC Comics today would tackle that. But yeah, no. So I thought it was pretty good. I like that issue. I don't have like a lot. It's not too in depth, but it's punching and trying to figure out what's going on and all sorts of stuff. So here are some previews. Well, before I get to previews, I want to let you know about a company called Upshot. Now, I think it's just Upshot. I was given 2 magazines that are previews of comics that this company is going to be putting out. So Upshot Now number 0 was for fall 2019.
That's pretty glossy.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's just I think they've got high hopes.
Well, it's just the cover.
Okay.
Well, the funny thing is, this is for the fall of 2019.
Last year?
Yeah. So the issue 0, I got that today. And I also got issue number 1
Wait,
of
what?
Upshot Now.
Why is that girl in her underwear and tennis
Why
shoes?
isn't she in her underwear?
She is in her underwear.
I know, exactly.
Wearing sneakers.
I don't see anything wrong with that. Here's the backside. It's done by the great Mike Deodato.
Yeah.
Mike Deodato's worked for Marvel. He's worked for DC, Wonder Woman, Avengers, Brian Michael Bendis, all sorts of stuff. Most recently, he and Jeff Lemire did Berserker Unbound for Dark Horse. What this is it is a black and white preview of comics that they're going to be putting out. Obviously, this one in 2019 didn't happen. So the same things that are in there are in here in black and white.
Oh.
Resistance is written by one of your favorite creators, J. Michael Straczynski.
How dare you?
What? You're not a Babylon 5 fan?
No, I'm not.
Rising Stars comic book?
Nah.
Spider-Man?
Nah.
And Mike Deodato doing the art. I paged through this and read some of them. I couldn't because, I mean, this is long. It was like 45 pages in here. Like the whole first issue is in here. So I really want to take a look and see what this is about. Basically, what I have figured out is there is like some sickness going around. Kind of like, it feels like The Stand.
Hot Zone.
Yeah, kind of like The Stand, it feels like. Going back to Stephen King. People are dying. There's all sorts of like world, conversations going on and stuff like on the news within like that's, I can't read that within a few minutes and tell you everything that's going on. If it's important, if it's not important, it looks good. This is some excellent Mike Deodato artwork. Lots of different characters being introduced, and there's definitely some superpower thing going on. There's also a Michael Morecci comic book. He's all right. I've never really loved his stuff. There's a preview for some Frank Cho and a few other things. That one's going to be called Fight Girls. Everybody that knows Frank Cho knows he likes to draw sexy women that are powerful.
Sure does. Yeah.
And look for Upshot. The thing is, I was looking at this and I'm like, who's involved in this? And it's Axel Alonso. And Axel Alonso was formerly he was like an editor-in-chief or something like that over at Marvel. So this is kind of reminiscent of that TKO comic book line I told you about. That's this company here, where they have all of their miniseries in one little box that they send you. And from what I understand, they get like really good creators working on this in this company. They've got Jeff Lemire, they've got Joshua Dysart here, they've got a bunch of other people, Garth Ennis, and this company seems like their big thing that they want to do is get this stuff made to be like a Netflix movie or a television show. And I think Upshot Now is also the same thing. Leading with J. Michael Straczynski is kind of like a giveaway that that's a possibility. All right. Previous. Boom. What's coming out tomorrow? Is there anything coming out tomorrow? There are a few things coming out tomorrow that are worthwhile, and I got them right here. Any alternative fans out there? I know there's at least one. So I have two books that I brought over that I thought you should check out. I don't even know if I have the first issue of this, but number 2 of a 4-part story is Voidwalker. Just that cover looks really sweet. What do you think? Kind of cool?
It's all right.
It's all right. And I thought the artwork was pretty cool too. As usual, they're on newsprint. The books are $1.50, except for this one.
Uh-oh.
This is 3-in-1, and it is $4.99. This is Blood Realm.
Is it still on?
It's still on newsprint.
Newsprint.
This is a reprint of the first volume of Blood Realm 1 through 3. These are sold out books.
Yep, I remember.
I don't know. I really like the artwork. It's very reminiscent of old Dungeons and Dragons monster manual type stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know. It gives me a visceral reaction of how I felt when I was a kid watching that paladin descend into hell. That was for you, ATM.
I got you.
Anyway, there's a volume 1 of the first 3 issues. This is this one right here. And also there's a volume 2. And I have both of those. So if you missed out on Blood Realm, you should pick that up. I thought it was pretty good. It's kind of like an adventuring party type thing. But yeah, it's cool. All right. Teen Titans number 38. I'm a big fan of this series right here. There was a trader recently, and that trader is trying to rehabilitate their character. And at the end of last issue, this person is trying to help our team escape from the prison that they're in. The big bad guy that was the actual... God, it's so confusing. There was a traitor. We didn't know who. Everybody thought it was Damien, that guy right there. It wasn't him. And then another guy ended up being traitor, but it was only because they thought that Damien was. Meanwhile, the real traitor of the whole thing is found out, and it's not really, it's just the big bad guy. It's been pretty good. I really like it. And let me just get to a page that might not give anything away. Bernard Chang is the artist. I'm really liking the work that he does here. Adam Glass does the writing, and I'm really enjoying Jin is back. I don't want to see too much. Don't want to ruin it for myself. Anyway, Teen Titans has been one of my favorite DC books. Man, probably for like the last year. Obviously, I like Grant Morrison's Green Lantern, but this gives me a feeling of how I felt when I was reading New Teen Titans back in the George Perez and Marv Wolfman days. Possibly, this is my favorite one since then. Maybe the Jeff Johns Teen Titans maybe slots in between this one and the original. But either way, this is one of my favorite little superhero group books that is going on, and I really like it. Next up, we've got Skull Digger number 2. This is a Jeff Lemire Black Hammer tie-in series. This is a mini-series featuring Skull Digger. Skull Digger in the first issue rescued a little boy. He's a precocious little lad that just wanted to get ice cream or something, and his parents get killed by a mugging. And Skull Digger comes in and graphically defeats the bad guys, and the little kid just kind of stares. He's like, "Don't look, don't look," and the kid stares, and then Skull Digger just wastes these guys, and he goes, and at the end of the first issue, it looks like Skull Digger is going to recruit him to be his Robin of sorts.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And the thing is that we know that he's done this in the past from a voiceover of another character that we're introduced to. And that character is a she. And I think it's that person right there. Anyway, good art. I like it a lot. Jeff Lemire, always writing a good story. And it's in the Black Hammer universe. If you have finished all the Black Hammer books that have come out, this is the next one for you, with more to come. So I screwed up, and I didn't order Star Wars number 1, but I finally got it back
in. Ding dong.
It's so funny. I ordered the alternative covers, like the party variant and the 1 in 25 or something like that, but I didn't order these. So how did I get the 1 in 25? I don't know. So I'm finally getting Star Wars in. This is written by, what is this? Oh, Charles Soule. He's a good writer. I like him. And this is taking place after the second movie, I think. I don't know.
Luke Skywalker looks angry.
Yeah, well, he is angry. I mean,
I don't remember him ever being angry.
What's going on? Yeah, this is this is cool. No. He's had a problem. So at the end of the second movie, he had that one guy say, "I'm your father," Remember?
Yeah,
And then he got his hand cut off. Look at that.
Yeah, he was distraught.
That poor guy.
That's cool.
Oh, that is cool, isn't it?
By hand.
By hand.
Bye-bye.
No, that's hand.
No,
because he lost him too.
He
So
goes
like,
away at the end.
there's all sorts of bad stuff going on with Luke Skywalker. I think we know why he looks the way he did there. He's very dejected. Good art. I'm liking this. I think it's Jesus Saiz is the name of the guy. And look at Chewie. Yeah. Lando.
Look at that. He's getting pumped full of morphine.
Oh, I know. So sorry I didn't get this in time. Hopefully you didn't get it somewhere else. And you can now continue the canonized story of what happened to the Star Trek or Star Wars guys you love so much after Empire Strikes Back. Star Trek, that's silly. Iron Man 2020 is I think 5-issue miniseries. What do you think of those colors?
Mauve? I don't know. What is this?
Is it mauve or pink?
Purple? I don't know.
Someone in the...
Is this any way associated with 2099?
I don't know what the hell it is.
Do you remember?
I wanted it to be, but I don't know. Oh, this looks good, though. Pete Woods. Oh, man. You know who loves Pete Woods?
Tell me.
Jeff.
Oh, where is he?
I don't know. I haven't... He was sick recently.
A little bit of heart surgery, and he just bails forever. What a baby.
Anyway, this is the Iron Man series that's been going on by Dan Slott was canceled so that they could bring you this mini-series. It's written by Dan Slott with help by Christos Gage. They have worked together many a time on Spider-Man, previous issues of Fantastic Four, Iron Man, and here we are. They're working on it together. And Pete Woods is doing the art. I don't know what it's about. I don't really care. I'm not a big Iron Man fan, but I'll let you know if it's any good.
So if you were doing a comic book, would you date it with the current year, like in the title? Because doesn't that kind of just automatically stamp it and date it as a thing of the past?
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get too many of the trades when they collect it.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Okay. We have Jessica Jones, Blind Spot. This is a new miniseries written by Kelly Thompson. Jessica Jones, ever since it used to be called Alias back in the Marvel Max days, and it was created by Brian Michael Bendis with art by Michael Gaydos. And it was a good book. It was very cool. She has sex with like Luke Cage in the first issue. Butt sex. And she lets you know. And it's like, whoa, this is adult. She's been kind of forced into the Marvel Universe since then. Marvel Max always felt like it was outside the Marvel U, but now it's not. She marries Luke Cage after a while. They have a baby together, and now she's back being a superpowered investigator. This is like the second or third one since the series got canceled. It actually got canceled as Brian Michael Bendis left to go to DC, and there's been a series of miniseries that have been coming out. So this is a new one. And if you're a Jessica Jones fan, you might want to pick that up. And then lastly, I have The Low Woods, #2. This is a Joe Hill imprint comic book that's also part of the Black Label imprint.
Wait a minute. How many imprints can you be part of?
Look, it's the Joe Hill House Comics with the Black Label imprint. It's all in one.
I don't get
Remember
it.
They got rid of Vertigo because it was confusing? I know I say it all the time. So we're introduced in the first issue to two girls that oversleep in a movie theater. There's this creepy ticket guy that they know from school. I think there's some lesbianism. I think that means there's some witchcraft. And at the end of the first issue, these two girls who had just been together, one that's laying on the bed has like this whirlpool, like a vortex entering her belly.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought the artwork was pretty good. It set the scene and the mood. I'm just not the biggest horror fan. And if I'm going to be reading a horror book, I think I'd rather go for the Kelly Jones stuff. The characters are kind of cool. You know, they're just kind of like aloof teens in school. They're too cool for school.
Well, show me a teenager that isn't.
Yeah, exactly. There's that creepy dude I was talking about. Anyway, I can't remember exactly everything that happened in the first issue, but yeah, if you like horror, it's a good looking book. I'm gonna put you back home with me now.
Yeah, okay.
Lando the traitor. Yeah, he was, but he thought he was doing good for his people. And sometimes that's the most important thing.
He was doing good for his people. What is Han
Well, he
Solo?
wasn't though. That's the thing. He's like, this deal's getting worse every moment. Or something.
You can't make a deal with the devil, man. Can't do it. So I can't remember the name of that movie, and I can't remember the name of the guy that wrote it now. It's going along with that lesbianism and witchcraft comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you go together like peanut butter and jelly.
The one from the movie that I remember was they go together like dykes and dogs. And I want to say, God, what is that guy's name? I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't remember his name.
Yeah, I was gonna say The Craft too.
No, it's like very well respected writer director guy.
The Craft, that was a good one. No, it wasn't, but I watched it.
Look it up.
Gustav Klimt, everybody. All right, I'm gonna share some stuff with you guys. I did some overlays, if you remember correctly, or remember last week. I mean, I showed you this one. And I clipped some things together, and I wanted to share these with you. They're going to be part of a longer opening someday. Actually, this is a shorter one from an opening you've seen before.
Well, I've invented a pill that gives worms to ex-girlfriends.
That's right. And here's a new one.
Sheriff, he wants to see you.
All right. See if I get copyrighted strike for that.
Copyright. Ruined. Life ruined.
Oh man, let me tell you about Eugene.
What happened to Eugene?
He said, "Oh, I figured out your problem with the copyright strike that you had for that wrestling video that you did. All you have to do is speed up by 7%, and they won't catch it." And so I'm like watching the video, and I'm like, okay, and then it just gets all blurry. I'm like, I can't see anything anymore. No wonder they didn't copyright strike it. You can't even tell what's going on. Like when old TVs, like when all the colors got like big and they're all blocky.
Yeah,
that's what it looked like.
Okay. Good job.
Thanks a lot, Eugene.
Yeah, bravo. Way to go, Eugene. Bravo.
But I think the secret is somewhere in there. The speeding up. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to record my voice over some of Triple H's. So maybe that might be the reason. And then if I also, there's some things you can do. Picture in picture, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But that's pretty good. That's a pretty quick show. What do you think?
Oh, it's over?
Oh, well, I'm not done yet. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Let me check out our comments if there's anybody other than Jaffro.
I have no idea how to look up a movie. I can't remember.
Yeah, exactly. Movie. I'm thinking of acting out the clip. Exactly.
You could employ some of those homeless people out front.
I could. But that's what Fiverr's for. Everything's on the internet, right? Mm-hmm. Or something like that. So did you ever find that thing you were looking for?
What are you talking about?
Weren't you looking for something right now?
Yeah, I'm still in the process.
Oh, I see. Okay,
I have no idea. I know he's got a master class, but that's how I'll find him. That's
master class. Steve Martin, Neil Gaiman.
No, either.
I saw Joyce Carol Oates has.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive.
Witches of Eastwick.
Oh, by the way, we were talking about Bernie Wrightson, earlier, and that guy that you said is his heir apparent or whatnot.
Well, yeah, something like that. Kelly Jones, yeah.
Where does Charles Vess fit in there?
Well, I wouldn't suggest he's anything like Bernie Wrightson.
You wouldn't? Because I've seen stuff that Vess has drawn that I was confused. I thought it was Bernie Wrightson for a little while.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I've never seen he has a very light line, I always felt. Here, I'm gonna bring up some I'm gonna share screen.
Okay.
And I'll let everybody else be the judge. So here we have Charles Vess, and then here is kind of what his great. Seriously?
What happened?
This is what his artwork looks like.
I mean, that stuff on the right, the tree, that looks like Bernie Wrightson.
I hear what you're saying. I don't think it's as he's not spotting as many blacks as a Bernie Wrightson does.
What a racist thing to say.
Stop it. Oh yeah, we already saw that one. Let's look at this. Look at that.
Whoa, is dim.
See, look how it's all solid, and I don't know. I'll bring up some Bernie Wrightson now so we can see. Bernie Wrightson. Bernie Wrightson's amazing, though. I mean, even just his line work is different than. This is like the piece that sold for like a gazillion dollars or something. Yeah, you can even see the stuff behind the beaker. You know, like it's just amazing.
It's David Mamet.
Oh, David Mamet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's one of his movies.
God damn! Look at that. That is so amazing.
Yeah, no, he's amazing.
If you look at his,
I imagine his stuff takes a long time to make too, though.
Like, here you go. Yeah, that was a pretty good one. Growing up as a kid.
Witches of Eastwick. Get out of here.
Witches of Eastwick.
I love Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah. Anyway, there you go. I'm just stop sharing that. Michelle Pfeiffer, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know, the first time I ever saw Michelle Pfeiffer and realized that I was a man or a boy or whatever was Lady Hawk. And I was just like, oh my goodness, who is this? Who is this?
I'm so glad you didn't say Dangerous Liaisons.
I've never seen that. But I was like, Matthew Broderick, this is going to be awesome. And then Rutger Hauer, he was in Blade Runner. And then Michelle Pfeiffer, and I was like, who? And then, you see Michelle Pfeiffer for the first time in the 80s, and you're like, oh, well, wow, that is a striking woman. Yeah. Haven't seen Scarface since I was a kid, and I mean a kid.
I never saw Scarface. That was an X. It was going to get an X rating, right? If they didn't cut out all the violence. I think that's what I remember about it.
The cocaine's fine. Leave the cocaine in.
Well, I mean, that might have been part of it also. Depending on, like, RoboCop was going to get an X rated, and they had to cut. They had to cut. It was the Ed 209 scene. If you've seen the extended version of it, he shoots that guy like another 15 seconds.
Too long. Too long. You shot him too many times. X.
And I remember it's Verhoeven that did that movie, and he's like, oh, I showed that to my kid in its original form, and he just thought it was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah. Those people are what do you call them? They're like the mafia, you know. They're extorting you, or you're.
We're talking about censors, rating people that do the ratings.
Yeah.
NC-17. Yeah.
We're gonna give you an NC-17. Okay.
Oh, it was also the scene where Murphy loses his arm, Fantinuum said. That was pretty disturbing, that scene. I was watching it again, and I'm like, where's the satire in this?
I'll buy that for $1.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, exactly. I mean, they're just like, they're shooting that poor little pig. Yeah, not cool. Not cool at all. I love that movie. That's one of my faves, without a doubt. We had such. So I'm gonna go a little Rob Liefeld here. We had great action movies in the 90s. It was, you know,
it was the best. There was no talk. Talk.
That's a
good video. No, but seriously, that's a good video.
Running Man. If anybody's never seen that, you got to watch the original Arnold Schwarzenegger style.
Yeah.
Stephen King.
Yeah.
That one was an excellent movie. I love that. Total Recall. Stephen King. Arnold Schwarzenegger did some great movies. Those were really fun.
No.
Predator. Really
Predator's
good action stuff. Yeah.
Predator real good.
I think for me, action movies started going down when they started doing the comedy a little bit too much.
After True Lies.
True Lies especially.
Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah, well, that's
Twins.
Yeah, Twins. Great movie. I love that one.
Is that a Ryman? What's his name? Ryan.
It might have been. I don't know, but Danny DeVito's in there.
Yeah.
That's great.
He's a very funny man.
Do you watch Always Sunny?
At your house?
At my house, yeah. He's so. Oh my god, I bust a gut watching that guy. He's so good. I'm so like he got a little bit of outrage heat last year. I don't remember what for. He supported some government or something. He said something, and people got upset. I'm like, I don't care. He could spit in my face, and I'll probably not have a problem with that. Don't spit in my face, Danny DeVito.
Yeah, don't do it. We won't enjoy it, but we'll still laugh at your jokes because So,
it's continuum. Always got to bring Mary Sue's into it.
So you have still not watched the Ricky Gervais stuff, or have you?
I watched the first. I just saw the 8-minute beginning of that show, the Golden Globes. I thought he was right on. He he did the Epstein joke, which was funny, and I totally agree. Sorry,
Weinstein.
I know. Like at the end of the Wrestling Council, Antonio always is like flat Earth is real or something like that. I'm like, okay, I don't ever press him on it. It's just funny. He always gets it right as we're ending. But I don't know that. Oh, that tape of his first suicide attempt is gone. It's like, oh yeah, we accidentally erased it. Very convenient. Very convenient.
Yeah.
I mean, we got like heads of state. We got Matt Groening. We got all sorts of people that are important. They used to hang out with this guy. He killed himself. You're on suicide watch. You guys, all right, I lost my job at Half Price Books because, and I didn't get money for unemployment. And the retired judge that was overseeing said, I didn't de-escalate the situation. I didn't. A bookseller didn't de-escalate. And I'm thinking like afterwards, I lost. I'm really upset. I had to see my manager who fired me because he's fighting for the company. I'm like, de-escalate a situation. I hear all the time about people that jump off buildings, and there ain't one guy that's supposed to talk this guy down off that ledge that loses their job. They don't de-escalate the situation.
Sure.
And I'm expected to do that. Give me a break. Give me a break.
I think it's really, really hard to expect somebody who has been attacked behind the counter at their job to de-escalate the situation. That's what I think.
De-escalate.
Yeah. Is that like taking the escalator down? Is that what that is?
That is exactly what it is. All right. Well, we're about 10 minutes early. We don't ever have a hard, fast rule that we're going to be an hour and a half. We've kept you guys long enough.
Go home.
Go home. You're at home. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button. Anybody that watches this show after the fact, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let us know what you thought.
Even if it's go to hell.
That's cool
too.
There's a special place in hell for me and my friends.
Comic book hell.
That's right. And Jill's waving.
It's got to be so much fun.
We'll soon start that Seinfeld thing also.
I can't wait.
Boom, ba doom. Anyway, thank you very much for showing up, everybody. We will talk to you later.
Good night. Bye-bye. Toodles.